This is very interesting history of Larsen and Toubro. This is based on the book Standing Tall 50 Years, written by Shri Raghava R. Menon on the first 50 years of L&T after its establishment in 1938. Mr. Hawk Larsen and Mr. Soren Toubro had a dream and the courage to dare. Their values are still valuable today, such as a spirit of enterprise and innovation, an obsession for quality and customer service, and a ceaseless effort at building confidence. The L&T story is the story of an adventure, of a certain kind of courage and a very specific vision for which there are not many parallels. When asked what he would define as the single most important secret of his success as an industrialist in a complex, developing country, Mr. Hawk Larsen replied, "If you want to belong to a country becomes a nation, you have to keep the economy growing by creating jobs. And you can only do that by investing in tomorrow. And tomorrow is made by people." Hawk Larsen became a legend in India. He was the only foreigner who came to India to build an Indian company, so that when India became independent, L&T had nothing to change or replace. The two Danes who came 2.5 centuries later came for the same reasons, to invest and trade. The difference was that they stayed and built. Mr. Toubro, a civil engineer, was sent to India in 1934 to help erect and commission the machinery supplied by his company FL Smid & Co. Copenhagen to newly established cement factories like the Madhukarai Cement Works near Coimbatore and the Rory Cement Factory at Sakkur in Sindh. Mr. Hawk Larsen, a chemical engineer and also an employee of FL Smid & Co., was dispatched to India in 1935 to assess the value of the various cement manufacturing groups. These groups were later merged into the Associated Cement Company, ACC. His first task completed, Hawk Larsen stayed on in India to open FL Smid's local office. On 1st May 1938, Henning Hawk Larsen and his partner rented a small room from the Western India Match Company, Wimco, in Mumbai's Ballard Estate. The beginning was very humble and with limited equipment. The office had only a table and a telephone, and the space was so small that only one partner could be present at a time. He hired just 2 employees, a typist and a peon. Being Danish citizens, Hawk Larsen and Toubro collaborated with manufacturers in their country. Danish manufacturers wanted to enter the Indian market, and the Danish Industrial Confederation also helped. The imported items included cooling machines, butter churns, cream separators, and pasteurizers. L&T took a different approach from other importers. They guided customers in using the machines, provided prompt service, and even after-sales maintenance. This new way of doing business gradually received a positive response from the Indian market. As a result, Hawk Larsen and Toubro gained recognition and created the possibility of a consistently profitable market. During the war, Hawk Larsen could not leave India for Europe because his small company needed to be closely looked after. After the war, he decided to go to Europe so that he could assess the original sources and prepare for the expansion of the company. By this time, L&T had established 3 core values: high reputation as an experienced and reliable company, commercial awareness, a sharp and tight business outlook, good technical and management staff, a well-chosen team. The company had energy and enthusiasm, which prepared it for greater possibilities in the future. In 1945, when India was about to become independent, there was uncertainty about the policy the country would adopt. The economic situation, the civil system, state control, and the private sector in every area. British manufacturers knew about India and were also influenced by Denmark, but they were unaware of L&T's technical capabilities. After meeting Holk Larsen, they realized that this man had a deep knowledge of India. He had travelled all over the subcontinent and had a good understanding of Indian culture and the possibilities of an independent India. This revealed the vision and local understanding of L&T's leadership, which proved to be important for the future of the company. When Holk Larsen returned from Europe, he formed partnerships with new agencies such as Bamag Limited, vegetable ghee plants and machinery; T&T Vickers, biscuit machinery; Henry Simon, sauce machinery; T. Tyson, glass making machinery and equipment. These partnerships made it clear that L&T would grow rapidly and become a major supplier of capital equipment to Indian industry. Holk Larsen and Toubro were looking for friends and investors who knew them or could help them reach new investors. The Norwegian Consul General in Bombay, T. Alsand, advised them to contact Ambalal Kilachand, who could help with this task. The nature and the outcome of this meeting typify Holk Larsen's thinking. The story goes that there was an extended discussion and general agreement on all points except that Kilachand wanted control of the company, which Holk Larsen was reluctant to offer. He decided to ponder over the issue. From the 5th floor of the building where Kilachand's office was situated, Holk Larsen and T. Franson, Hilda's office manager, took the lift to come down. En route, Holk Larsen made up his mind. He went back to Kilachand's office and withdrew his offer. It was the breakdown of the Kilachand negotiations that brought to L&T the interest and support of an altogether different kind of man, Mangaldas V. Desai. In November 1945, Holk Larsen brought his balance sheet to show to Mangaldas Desai. But the balance sheet in itself was not convincing enough to justify the substantial investment that Mangaldas Desai made. His decision to invest in L&T was an act of intuition and faith. Until this last day, human perception has been the mainstay of the company, a determining factor in its ongoing destiny. He was assured by Holk Larsen that firstly, the engineering industry had a great future, and secondly, although majority control was essential, the intention was not to limit the growth of the business in future to a size which would enable Holk Larsen and Toubro to remain majority control. Years later, Mangaldas' son N.M. Desai, by then the chairman of the company, was to say, "My father's decision to invest in L&T was not based on an examination of the company's balance sheet at that time. It was a decision made on his judgment of Holk Larsen. There was also the fact that great opportunities lay ahead for development of the engineering industry in the forthcoming era of India's independence." The company was growing rapidly and its existing facilities were bursting at the seams. It became imperative for L&T to have land of its own. In late 1948, L&T acquired 55 acres of undeveloped marsh, swamp and jungle, which is today its prime asset. Draining marshes, cutting forest, leveling ground and building roads would create a new landscape. There was absolutely no infrastructure, no roads, no water, no electricity. Drinking water was collected from a nearby municipal tank, stored in buckets covered with Muslim cloth and doled out to the workforce. A municipal line for drinking water could be obtained only in 1951. The nearest bus station was at Sakinaka, nearly 3 kilometers from the L&T site. The Caterpillar service station was shifted from Mallet-Bunder to Powai in 1950. Who could have dreamt, looking at the uninhabited, murky swamplands trampled only by great caterpillar tracks, that Powai would be transformed into the ideal working environment that it is today, a tribute to the men whose vision made it possible. The reason why a private limited company goes public is to meet the needs of growth. When the need for more capital for development and expansion becomes critical, the business has to look around for more shareholders. In December 1950, L&T became a public company with a paid-up share capital of rupees 20 lakhs. The sales turnover at that time was rupees 109 lakhs. The first products manufactured by the L&T Partnership Company were dairy and refrigeration machines and equipment. In later years, the dairy division had expanded to include plants made by some of the world's leading manufacturers in Denmark, UK and Switzerland. Now it faced one of the most challenging tasks of its career: the contract for a dairy from the giant Kaira District Cooperative Milk Products Union at Anand. Tribhuvan Das Patel, the president of one of the most dynamic cooperative unions in country, and Dr. Verghese Kurian had embarked on a pathfinding journey into one of the most dramatic success stories in cooperative movement in Asia. Group photograph while dairy inauguration. Pandit Nehru, second from right, Mrs. Indira Gandhi, third from right, and Mr. Morarji Desai, extreme left, with Mr. V. Kurian of National Dairy Development Board. L&T was given the contract for supply and erection of piping and insulation machinery. The Amul plant was ready on October 2, 1955 and dedicated to the nation by Jawaharlal Nehru, Prime Minister of India. A significant characteristic of the company was revealed on that occasion and provides an insight into the nature of the organization. While Pandit Nehru was inaugurating the dairy, Tubro was nowhere to be seen among the invited guests. He was busy right through the ceremony testing some equipment. He was formally presented to the Prime Minister at the subsequent reception. In February 1956, a major part of the company's Bombay office moved to ICI House at Bellard Estate. A decade later, the building was purchased by the company and renamed L&T House. In addition to Powai, L&T now had its own corporate headquarters. The grey stone building has an imposing facade and an impressive foyer dominated by elegantly sweeping staircase that leads to the company's executive offices on the first floor. In the 1960s, L&T underwent significant changes in its management. Mangaldas V. Desai, who had been a director since 1946, died suddenly in 1960, which was a great loss to the company. In December 1962, Soren Tubro resigned from active management but continued to be associated as a member of the board. In 1969, the Government of India decided to abolish the management agency system, as a result of which L&T Management Private Limited divested itself of its agencies. Subsequently, Holk Larsen, N.M. Desai, John Hoover and Gunnar Hansen were appointed as executive directors. L&T has been designed to adapt to times of crisis from the very beginning. The company's knowledge and expertise have always been at the forefront. As the company grew, so did the pressure. In 1972-73, consultants from the Management Institute of Ahmedabad were tasked with designing the organizational structure and control system. In 1974, new structures were implemented and the organizational management was strengthened by 4 Indians. 2 foreign nationals left L&T in the same year. Holk Larsen was honored with the Raymond Magsaysay Award for International Understanding in 1976. There could not have been a better recognition of his contribution to India's industrial development. In his acceptance speech, he said, "The L&T Group is now a happy family of over 10,000 direct employees and more than 25,000 shareholders. I therefore share this unique honor bestowed on me today with all those persons with whom I have had the privilege of working in India, as well as with the company's collaborators, customers in all 5 continents." When Hawk Larsen retired as chairman in 1978, he had spent 40 years building and running the company, which bears his name and that of his other co-founder, Søren Tubro. After Søren Tubro returned to Denmark, he moved to Gentofte, one of Copenhagen's leafy suburbs, from where he would visit his beloved homeland 2 or more times a year. Hawk Larsen entrusted L&T to his successor, Nicky Desai. The Desai family were eminent men and women in Indian society. Their value system of ethics, responsibility, and commitment were of one piece with their tradition. There was much more than the specific inheritance of family, social position, and personal qualities that Nicky Desai brought to L&T. At the time of Hawk Larsen's retirement as chief executive in 1977, Desai had already worked in the company for more than 31 years. He had worked in tandem with the chairman for 14 years. He had joined the L&T board in 1956. The company does business through 12 major groups in addition to its subsidiaries and associate companies, covering a bewildering variety of specialized technology. Although it is involved in several distinct fields of engineering, L&T is still perhaps best known for the range of power control equipment it manufactures, and with good reason. Today, it is India's largest manufacturer of low-tension switchgear. Often, switchgear designed by L&T's R&D engineers has secured international recognition. 8 of its products have won the prestigious Good Industrial Design Award at Hanover Fair, West Germany. Apart from switchgear, L&T Group manufactures a wide range of equipment and machinery for several industries. These include hydraulic excavators, construction and mining equipment, petroleum and chemical plants, cement and paper machinery, food processing plants, valves, welding alloys, tire curing presses, hydraulic turbines, testing equipment, telecommunication systems, industrial drives, computer peripherals, and medical electronics. L&T entered the nuclear sector in the mid-1960s. It executed a turnkey project for a 14-story complex building and a radiological laboratory, also known as the Hot Lab, for the Bhabha Atomic Research Center at Trombay. L&T has manufactured and supplied critical equipment such as calandria, end shields, steam generators, and heat transfer equipment for India's nuclear power plants. These equipment have been installed at Kota, Narora, and Kalpakkam. In addition, towers and heat exchangers for heavy water plants have also been supplied by L&T at Kota, Talcher, Baruda, Managuru, and Thal. L&T's pioneering spirit led to its association with India's space program in the mid-70s, when it was entrusted with the manufacture of the first and second stages of the SLV-3 program. While the high-tensile steel casings appeared deceptively simple in construction, L&T had to put in intensive development efforts before the first acceptable casing could be produced. Acceptance standard had to meet flight considerations, which were a new phenomenon to industry. This order was followed by other for similar casing for the ASLV program, which L&T continues to produce. Concurrent with ASLV, the Department of Space launched its PSLV program. This was totally new in every respect, as the casings made of segments were to be fabricated from maraging steel. The entire program depended on the ability to successfully manufacture these casings in welded construction design. One of L&T's significant contributions was the design and development of the jigs and fixtures needed to achieve the required close tolerances and stringent quality standards. The successful production of the first maraging steel segment is a tribute to L&T's innovative skills. It made the Department of Space self-reliant. L&T's rapid growth, which began in the 1960s, continued in the 1970s and 1980s. In 1971, it partnered with McNeil Akron to manufacture rubber machinery and tire curing presses. In 1987, it collaborated with Gould Inc. for electronic test and measurement equipment. Moving forward, L&T entered into 2 new areas with a long-term view. Cement manufacturing. Since it was already a major supplier of cement machinery, it made sense to start its own manufacturing. The plant set up in Overpur is one of the largest in the country. Shipping sector. This was also a new activity which was part of the company's broader growth strategy. As far as cement was concerned, L&T was already a leading supplier of cement machinery and technology to Indian industries. It was logical therefore to have its own process plant and manufacture cement. Silos rose towards the sky and yet another L&T model township was born in Overpur. The Overpur cement is among the largest in the country with an aggregate of 6,400 tons per day. L&T's first cement plant at Overpur, Maharashtra. L&T's corporate management team in 1982. Left to right, Mr. B.G. N. Patel, Mr. D. L. Pradhan, Mr. U.V. Rao, Mr. M. H. Fairwani, Mr. N. M. Desai, Mr. S. R. Subramaniam, Mr. K. S. S. Mani, Mr. S. P. Kashyap, and Mr. C. R. Ramakrishnan. L&T's entry into the shipping sector was a deliberate strategic decision, as there was a need for shipping tonnage in India and long-term loans were available at low interest rates. In 1982, the company purchased 2 old bulk carriers and added 3 new vessels by 1984. L&T is unique in that it takes carefully calculated risks which are based on strong principles and the broad philosophy of the company. The shipping division is managed extremely efficiently with 99% commercial utilization. This example demonstrates L&T's professional management capabilities and successful diversification into unrelated areas. M.V. Holk Larsen, L&T's first bulk carrier. 1938 to 1988. For an institution that has grown in a span of 50 years to assume legendary proportions, there cannot and must not be an end. Unlike other stories that end, the story of L&T continues. From the book Standing Tall, 50 Years, written by Mr. Raghava R. Menon, translation and compiled by Dipak Bharucha.